guys. Man, what a day. It's early. I'm getting to the gym so I can get my cardio and my training in right now. Hopefully it doesn't rain all day though. Let's get going. Let's do this. All right, guys, so going around the internet is this story that Joe Satriani says he doesn't want anything to do with the Van Halen tribute now. He's backing out of it. And this is what's going around. Now, let me just correct that, because that story did go around, but it's from 2022. It's not recent. But what he's saying in that article is anybody that takes on Eddie Van Halen and tries to do this tribute is going to take on a ton of negativity because the fans won't have it. Let me correct that, because the fans want it, and we want it really bad. We just want it done right. So that pisses me off that is going around, and that at any point Joe Satriani would blame it on the fans and not the fact that an unprepared guitar player is going to get his ass handed to him, because you're taking on the king of guitar. So you prepare yourself, bring it to the table, and you take care of us fans and do it right. Then you're going to get welcomed with open arms. Guys, there's, like I said in my last video, you can go on YouTube and see there are some perfectionists. They got the tone down, the phrasing down. Why? Because they cut their teeth on Van Halen from back in the day. It shows that Joe Satriani, from that Howard Stern, whatever you want to call that, and however that was put together, he showed up unrehearsed. Okay, let's just get some facts together why everybody's pissed off here. He didn't play the songs right. None of those songs were played right. He didn't have the tone down. He didn't have the phrasing down. He didn't have the style down. His amp was oversaturated. The volume on his guitar was too high even, which pushed too much drive into the amp, which gave you this horrible distorted sound. And I ask myself, how does Joe Satriani not even know the bare basics of what makes Eddie Van Halen, that he's going to go on Howard Stern and say, hey, everybody, I want to show you how bad I can fuck up Eddie Van Halen. And Sammy Hagar said, yeah, let's do that. I'm game. Let's show him how bad we could just fuck these songs up. Get everything wrong. Let's show him. I'm a little irritated. I'm more irritated at Sammy. I've lost so much respect for Sammy Hagar. I can't even tell you guys. It's horrible that I feel this way, because that is my band. Van Halen is my ultimate band. Eddie Van Halen, my ultimate guitarist. And you don't give him an ounce of time. Listen, professional musicians can sit at home, ace the songs. You don't even have to know who your bass player is going to be. You don't have to know who your drummer is going to be. You just show up, you've got your parts ready to rock and roll, and you guys can sound like you've played together your entire life. That's how good musicians are. I've done it before. Go ahead and look me up. Teddy Zane, Journey. I got the call. You need to show up, and you're Neil Sean. And I showed up, and I was Neil Sean. I didn't know these guys. You're going to see a lot of videos of Teddy Zane, Journey, to where it's a different keyboard player. It's a different bass player. It's a different vocalist, because they were just auditioning all these guys, and I made the guitar part. So I just said, okay, I'll show up, and let's go ahead and figure out who's going to be in the band. So all those rehearsals are on YouTube. If you called Teddy and said, Teddy, show up to be Eddie Van Halen, I'd show up and I'd be Eddie Van Halen. So that tells me that at a young age, Joe Satriani wasn't even playing the Van Halen songs. Joe wasn't even cutting his teeth on Van Halen, on Eddie, because he didn't play the basics right. He got even the basics wrong. So here's my point. This is what I'm getting at. Yes, I would love for Joe Satriani to really say he's backing out, because he's not a good fit. He's not a good fit. Great guitar player, but here's the thing with the greats. They're great at sounding like themselves. They're great at being great and being them, because they spent a lifetime on carving out their sound, their playing, their technique. So Joe Satriani plays all those songs wrong, but you know what? On top of that, he sounded like Joe Satriani playing Van Halen songs wrong. I can't get that out of my head. I'm like, oh my God, I heard Joe Satriani. Like, I heard, if I closed my eyes and you guys said, okay, who's playing those Van Halen songs wrong? Who's playing those all wrong? That's Joe Satriani playing those wrong. That's how fucked up this is. He still sounds like Joe Satriani. And that the problem is you can't shake that. You'll never shake that. So this is why, Joe Satriani, you gotta just back out. Don't blame it on the fans. It's you. You'll never sound like Eddie Van Halen, and that's what we want. Sammy Hagar, stop fucking up. It pisses me off that Sammy Hagar would have allowed that Howard Stern show, knowing that they were so freaking unrehearsed. It just tells me that it's a quick money grab for the box set that's coming out. And it's also a disrespect to Eddie, like, oh, it's no big deal. It's just Eddie Van Halen. You don't have to rehearse. Fuck it. Let's just show up and fuck everything up. It's just Eddie Van Halen. I'm mind-boggled by that you're gonna bring to the table the guy that hired you, Sammy. He didn't need you in that band. He hired you. Sammy likes to talk this big game. Well, I just got off tour. I was like, no, Eddie, man, I'm too tired. I can't do bullshit, Sammy. Eddie took you the fuck way up here, man. He brought you to the next level. And to me, it's just so disrespectful to the greatest guitar player that ever lived. He's passed away. Eddie would not approve at all of what he heard, or what he would have heard had he still been alive. And this is coming from a guy, Eddie Van Halen, that nitpicked the hell out of Randy Rhoads. Okay, he trashed Randy Rhoads, and Randy Rhoads was like second greatest guitarist of all time at the time when they were both alive, battling for #1 guitar player. You're either going to choose, you're the bluesy guy, so you take Eddie Van Halen, or you're melodic minor, so you choose. That's how difficult and polarized choosing one of those great guitar players. But Eddie Van Halen tore Randy Rhoads apart. So how would he have, he wouldn't have received at all the Howard Stern debacle, the trashing of his music. He wouldn't have received that very well. That's my point, guys. I'm not getting on to Joe, because, I don't think it's Joe's fault. It's not Joe's fault that his entire life he wanted to be Joe Satriani. He wanted to be the best Joe Satriani he could possibly. But it does come down to him passing on the gig. Joe should just pass on it and say, look, I'm not a good fill for this. Go to YouTube, find a kid that's been working on Eddie Van Halen his entire life, that has it all down perfect. There's even kids out there that not only play the songs perfect, they even look like Eddie. I mean, that's the gift that some of these kids have. Grab one of those dudes. Let's not turn this into some shitty jam session. Let's not call this some shitty tribute that we're just going to go out there and give the fans a little bit of this. No. Go out there, go deep into the fan base and please everybody. Not just the dudes that, they bought a Van Halen album here and they're just cool with this and they don't really give a shit. And the bar doesn't need to be high. It's a very low bar that you're pleasing right now, Sammy. Very low. Let me be very clear. The only people that are pleased with what they saw on Howard Stern, their bar is extremely low. The guys with the high bar, we already know what to expect out of a guitar player, and Joe Satriani fucked it all up. So there's no convincing us that was okay. Joe Satriani, bow out. Sammy Hagar, apologize, motherfucker. Do it right. Find a guitar player off of YouTube that nails this shit. And damn, I will pay $400 a fucking ticket for that. Bet your ass I'll pay top dollar to see that. But as of right now, count me the fuck out. I wouldn't go to a local bar for $10 fucking to see that bullshit because I'm pissed off. It's a half-ass garage band that's fucking Eddie Van Halen up at this point. That's my take. All right, guys. Man, it's still raining. I'm very close to my gym, so it's time to get my cardio on. I'm about to pull in, train, and I'm not going to cut the comments off on this YouTube video. So comment. I want to know what you guys think. I see all across the internet right now, comments are cut off on everything. Nobody's allowed to comment because it's too polarized. It's like back in 2020 when I was telling everybody, don't you dare vote for Joe Biden. He's going to fuck this country up. Don't you vote. You better vote Trump. Oh, your feelings are hurt because of a fucking tweet. Yeah, well, imagine this entire country just shitted on. That's what you're going to get with Joe Biden. And now here we are. Joe Biden didn't just fuck the country up. He fucked the world up. Like, how do you do that? One dude fucked the entire world up. And so here I am. We're back with that polarized, you're either going to vote for, this Joe Satriani thing, or you're going to vote to get him the hell out. Hopefully you vote for Donald freaking Trump in 2024. You guys realize how bad one person can fuck shit up. Get it back on track. You got to bring in Trump. Get this shit back on track with Sammy Hagar. Bring in Joshua Jones. That's some shit I'll pay top dollar for. Joshua Jones off of YouTube. Kid's got the tone. He's got the gift. He's got the phrasing. He's got the energy. He's got the look. He's got the harmonics. He's got the dive bombing. He's got the squeals. He's got it all, man. You close your eyes, it's like, holy shit, that's a new gift of Van Halen that I want to hear. I'll even hear some new shit that dude writes. I want to hear some shit that Joshua Jones writes with Sammy Hagar putting some fucking lyrics to it. Oh, dude, that would be sick. I don't want to hear Joe Satriani as Joe Satriani pretending to be Eddie Van Halen. Fuck that. Y'all have an awesome day, baby. Peace!